Now this is a enumeration, which is a user-defined value. You literally could have written anything in any particular order. However, you coincidentally typed the same exact thing in the same exact order and the same design as shown in lecture 14 of my course, which also coincidentally happens to share the same exact title. So here's what he actually had to say. You know, this course really is just backed by me. If you want to know who you're dealing with, feel free to look me up. You have my name. Check the German business registry and see all the companies that I built, along with the revenues and profits they generated. Financially, I'm already set for life. Wow, guys, it's like I'm talking to the multi-millionaire. We got the German Jeff Bezos over here copying my Unreligion course. The course in question is something my son is currently building. I'm just helping him along the way. That's why the voiceover is done with AI. With your actions, you're not only attacking me, but you're also going after my kid and my family. And to be honest, he was ready to take legal action already. But I told him, you don't act out of anger, but you must handle things with fairness, respect, and with a clear mind. That you treat competition seriously, but also like a human being. If I wanted to, it wouldn't be a problem for me to escalate this legally. Spending over 50 to 200,000 euros on a lawsuit, no big deal. But that's not the path I want to show and teach my son. Hello guys, welcome back to another video. So for those of you guys who don't know, I sell a Unreligion course called my multiplayer survival game course. And basically I spent the last 4 years of my life recording, editing, and developing this course. That basically just shows you how to make a game inside of Unreal Engine, specifically a multiplayer survival game. There's this guy who enrolled in the course and then used it so he could make a near identical copy of my entire course so that he could resell it for profit. He essentially recreated the course lectures with an AI overdub voice, not only uploading said course lectures to YouTube, but also selling it on his own website. And he had the audacity to not only copy paste my entire sales page from my website, including things like my course outline, but he even copied my frequently asked questions so that he could repackage it and resell it to my students. If you don't believe me, don't worry, because I have a mountain of evidence in this video. Not only we will look at the individual source code that this guy has copied from my course, we will take a look at his website, which is just blatantly plagiarized from mine, as well as the countless Discord messages that he's made in my private Discord server, proving the fact that he nearly completed the entire course, but also showing that his initial intention from the very beginning was to use my course to make an identical copy or to resell the project for money. Now, all of this started when I stumbled across this guy's YouTube channel and saw my course lectures that were literally just blatant copies of my private course lectures. And so I submitted a copyright strike on the guy's videos that were clear cases of copyright infringement. And basically this guy's response to the strikes was to send me an email in which he threatened me multiple times, claiming that he was financially set for life, telling me to look him up in the German business registry to see all the successful businesses he owns, saying that he would have no problem wasting upwards of $50,000 to $200,000 in legal expenses just to sue me. Not only did he send me a ton of these salty emails, but he also made a Reddit post along with a Unreal Engine forums post in an effort to discredit me and target my reputation. Now in this video, we will review every claim this guy has made over the countless emails, the Reddit posts, the Discord messages, and not only will we prove with facts that he's objectively wrong, but we will also prove that this guy is a pathological liar and a fraud. So there's so much to unpack in this video. I brought all the receipts, so just go ahead, crack open a cold one, get some popcorn, because this one is going to be a long one. So let's start off from the very beginning, the copyright strikes. So first of all, let me just explain before people call me a hypocrite for using the YouTube copyright strike system. Just to be 100% transparent with you guys, I have used the YouTube copyright strike system before. This isn't my first time removing my re-uploaded course content on YouTube. I've made many claims in the past to remove my copyright protected works, like my course lectures, from people who have quite literally downloaded the lectures from my website and just have re-uploaded it to YouTube. So I have used this tool many times before, but I've never abused it. I've never used this tool to remove anyone's video criticizing me, and if people want to make an exposed video or talk shit, do it. And I'd likely make a response video to it. But I'd never abuse the YouTube copyright strike system in an attempt to censor any criticism of me. However, this is exactly what Threat Interactive did to me in one of my previous videos, and I made a full response video talking about it, complaining about it, and about the fact that he's abusing the YouTube copyright strike system for censoring criticism. So I want to make it very clear that I have never abused the YouTube copyright strike system to remove someone's critical videos of me, and if someone wants to make any sort of exposed or critical video of me, go for it, I do not care. But what I will use the copyright strike tools for is for literally copyright infringement. When someone steals my course content and puts it up on YouTube. Exactly what the copyright tool is intended and designed to be used for actual copyright infringement. Now I can prove what this guy has uploaded is my actual protected work for a number of reasons. But first, let's go ahead and take a look at his course website because it shows a number of coincidental similarities. Okay, so here we go. We have it pulled up. So you can see this is his course on the left. You can see Survival Game Unreal Engine 5 course. And this is mine on the right. So you can see my logo, Smart Poly, and his logo. You can see if we scroll down over here, we're going to go and you can see that, a lot of the item grid and stuff is the same. That's totally fine, whatever, if he wants to showcase it. But you can obviously see that a lot of the assets and stuff, he's using the same assets, obviously. Whatever, that's not copyright infringement. But if we actually scroll down here and go to the course outline, this is what we will compare. So let's go ahead and take a look at the course outline from my course on the right. So we have Chapter 1, getting started. We have the inventory system. We have things like armor, the building system. Okay, let's take a look at this guy's course outline. We have 1, getting started. Okay. Then we have a new chapter. He has some other chapters for motion matching. But look at this. We have the inventory system and user interface. And we have the hotbar and equip system. Okay, you can see my player hotbar setup, hatchet, and equipable. We have the player attributes, we have the player stats. But where it gets actually crazy is if we scroll down here, we have the harvesting and resource system. Okay, we have the creating the harvesting system. Then we have crafting and item creation. Then we have the crafting system. Okay, we have building and construction system. Check this out. We have creating the building system. Storage system, creating storage containers. He has an extra chapter here, meta-human integration. Okay, we don't have that in my course. I'll give him that one. But then we have armor equipables. Check this out. We have creating armor equipables. Weapon systems. Basically, that's creating all the items because those are the items and the weapons, all that stuff in my course. And then we have the tribes and clan system. Oh, look at this. Creating a tribes/clan system. Look at that. He could have named it guilds. He could have named it anything else. It's the same exact thing. Chat system. Okay, this is basically the social system where we create the player chat, the voice chat, all that stuff. Open world map building. Creating the open world map. Okay, procedural foliage. We have multi-biome procedural foliage. Same exact thing. NPC/AI system. AI system. Player minimap and compass, you have player minimaps. Okay, we have save and load system, we have the save and load system. Epic, Steam/Epic sessions and front-end widgets. Steam sessions, front-end widgets. Then we have dedicated server setup and hosting. And of course, dedicated server setup and hosting. So as you can see here, he has literally just copied my entire course outline. Of course, he's added a couple of different chapters, but the entire structure, especially if you look down right over here, you can see that it copies the same exact format. And the thing is, this course is in early access, meaning that he hasn't completed recording all the lectures or even probably developing even the game. So where did he come up with this course curriculum? Where did he actually think about this? Well, he got it from my website, obviously. It's not like this guy coincidentally came up with this entire format. It's too much of a coincidence to not just be the fact that this guy just copied and pasted this from my website. Now, this is where it gets even worse. So we scroll down and look at the FAQ, or my frequently asked questions. We can take a look at this guy's frequently asked questions and compare and contrast and see what else he copied and pasted from my website. Over here on his website, he says, do I need some experience or knowledge? And check this out. We have, do I need prior experience or knowledge? So you can see that he's copying this entire section. Then we have our subtitles available for each lecture. So our subtitles included for each lecture. So he's blatantly just copying and pasting this and just rewording it. And then we have, is the course finished or still in development? And then you can see I have, is the course complete? Currently the course is in early access. And you can see he says the course is in early access, which means new lectures are being recorded, meaning new lectures and features are being actively developed. It's the same exact wording. And then of course we have, can I publish or sell the game that I create during the course? And then check this out. We have, can I sell the game I create in the course? So this is mine and this is his. It's the same exact thing. And basically mine says you can sell the game you create in the course. However, I'd recommend creating your own separate game, designing unique assets and gameplay elements to avoid having multiple copies of the same game. You cannot sell the course project files nor distribute the course project. And you can see, yes, you can publish and sell the game you build during this course. However, it's highly recommended that you use the knowledge you gain to develop your own unique project with custom assets, design, and gameplay to ensure your game stands out to avoid a duplication. Basically, this guy either ran this through ChatGPT to reword and rearrange the order of this, but it's essentially the same exact wording, copy and pasted from my website. Even the refund policy, you can see what is your refund policy. All refunds are handled in accordance with Teachable's official refund policy. Of course, I have what is your refund policy, 15 days of purchase, all of that stuff right there. Then we have, can I download or watch lectures offline? And then over here, can I download lectures for offline viewing? Same exact thing, I don't need to read the full paragraph. We have, will I get access to the full complete project? And you can see, will I get access to the full completed project? This guy literally copied, he didn't even reword this one. Like, come on, dog. Then we have, what if I encounter bugs during the course? Of course, we have this, what do I do if I encounter a bug? Okay, bugs are a natural part of game development. Bugs are common in game development. Like, come on. Now, there is literally no way that you can disprove the fact that he copied, just straight up copied and pasted this from my website, or just used my website as literally a reference for his. So it's just obvious that he just plagiarized my website. Now, this guy made a Reddit post after I claimed his videos, and the name of this post is called False Copyright Claims Against My Unreal Engine YouTube Tutorial Looking for Advice. So he's looking for legal advice here in r/game dev. Hi everyone, I'm building a comprehensive course called MSG course, which stands for Multiplayer Survival Game, focused on creating a survival game in Unreal Engine 5.5 Plus. The full course is hosted on Teachable and covers multiplayer systems, blueprint architecture, inventory system, blah, blah, blah. So he says, my course is also technically structured in a completely different way, from the blueprint architecture to the component design, the data handling, the UI logic. Everything was built independently with a focus on multiplayer optimization, blah, blah, blah. The only thing that it has in common with his course is the general theme of creating a survival game in Unreal Engine. So he claims that the only similarity between my course and his is that we share the same theme, that we're creating a survival game inside of Unreal Engine, which is not true. And we have literally already disputed this claim because I just showed you guys my comparison of my course curriculum, which shares so many more similarities between my course and his. So objectively, this statement that he just made, that there is nothing, the only thing that it has in common is the theme, is already disproven. And I'm going to disprove that claim even more because we're going to review the code. Buddy, you share the same course lecture format names, the chapter names, the frequently asked questions, the course policy, and even the early access discount, which I forgot to show you guys. You can see that the choose a pricing option, multiplayer survival game course launch discount, survival game course launch discount. Then we have the price will increase later on. This is mine. The price will increase soon. And then we have, pay with installments because, you can use interest-free payment system. But we have a lifetime access right here, one-time purchase. And you can see that he copied that lifetime access, one-time purchase. So this is just crazy. He just copied the entire pricing structure. I mean, he obviously made his, $20 more than mine. As you can see, the course shares obviously way more than just the survival game theme and it being built in Unreal Engine. Now, we can already tell that this guy is not only lying through his teeth, but he's also being disingenuous, purposely leaving out all of these similarities as he claimed the only thing in common was the course's theme. Don't worry, guys. Throughout this video, you'll notice a pattern of his lying, disingenuous behavior, misconstruing the facts just to gain everyone's support. And this next sentence from this Reddit post gets even better. He goes on to state, the structure and technical implementation are entirely unique and share no similarities with the content of the claimant Smart Poly. Which again, we literally just disproved this. His course follows the same exact structure as mine. It's almost like he must have copied it by chance. But then he claims that there is no similarities in terms of technical implementation, meaning the code or the blueprint. And this claim is 100% false, and we'll easily disprove this because I actually went ahead and purchased his course to check the literal source code. And his quote, technical implementation, again, which he claims is entirely unique and share no similarities, his words, not mine. Well, this point is easily disproven from his course in Lecture 34, which is titled Setting Up the Item Data Assets and Inventory Component, which is literally just a straight up copy of Lecture 14 of my course, where I create the item info and data asset. Now in this lecture, he creates a primary data asset. I can't actually show you guys the content of the course, but I'll show a proof here that I'm actually enrolled in the course. But essentially in this lecture, he creates a primary data asset that he uses for the inventory item info, and inside of this data asset he adds the same exact variables and enumerators almost in the same exact order as found in my course lecture. Now you might be thinking, but wait, Smart Poly, maybe it's just a coincidence, right? Surely someone has thought of using a soft object reference of a data asset for the inventory array structure, and you might be right. But then he goes on to create the same exact enumerations for the item rarity as well as a enumeration for item type, which is literally the exact same as found in my course. Now this is a enumeration, which is a user-defined value. You literally could have written anything in any particular order. However, you coincidentally typed the same exact thing in the same exact order and the same design as shown in lecture 14 of my course, which also coincidentally happens to share the same exact title. Not only is this one small example, but this guy has loads of lectures that I could dig apart and find tons of similarities, almost too identical to be a coincidence. And again, this is coming from the guy who claims in his own words, the structure and technical implementation are entirely unique and share no similarities with the content and claimant Smart Poly. Now for a guy who's claiming that his course shares no similarities with mine, I've already found in this single lecture alone more than a handful of similarities ranging from the lecture title to the technical implementation and design of the code. Now you might be wondering, Smart Poly, how could you be so sure? Maybe the guy just came up with all of this himself. And to that statement, I can 100% prove that this guy copied this from my course because he's literally enrolled in my course. I can prove that he not only purchased this course, because here is the receipt, but also that he completed more than the large majority of my students. And you might be wondering, how do I actually know this? Well, because he had made public posts showing his progress in my private Discord server, showing footage of his game, and this is literally just a byproduct of following my course lectures. So we can safely assume that he not only followed my course, but he paid very close attention to my course lectures. Not only do we have access to every single message he sent in my private Discord server, but also I have every single message dating back to a year ago when he asked me this in general chat, stating, "Sorry for that question, but SP, if people use your course to learn how to make a survival game, modified it, and sold it, what is the problem? Is the course not to learn how to make games and sold it?" So first of all, let me address this first statement, which says, if people use your course to make a game, modify, and sell it, what is the problem? And my response to that is literally, that's the purpose of the course. In fact, I directly address this in my FAQ, which he coincidentally copied, that you are allowed to take my course to learn and develop, to create your own game that you can sell commercially on Steam or whatever platform you like, under the sole and only condition that you do not resell the source code, assets, or project. And my main reasoning for this is because I don't want people literally ripping my entire survival game and reselling it on the asset store, like what these idiots did over a year ago, which is exactly what he's directly referencing in the second part of his message. So let me just read that real quick. Is the course not to learn how to make games and sold it? Because the people didn't rip one-to-one your work. So what he's referencing here for context, over a year ago, I had to deal with the same exact issue that I'm dealing right now, with people ripping my course to make a quick profit. But in this specific case, people literally followed the entire course, built the entire game. They modified it by swapping out some assets, some textures, some of the UI elements, but they uploaded the whole thing to the Unreal Marketplace, which is now formerly known as Fab, to sell for $299. And this project was a literal one-to-one copy of my game with minor changes and modifications. How do I know this, you might ask? Well, because I actually went ahead and spent the $299 to buy their product to review their code. But first, let's just start with the fact that they named it Open World Survival Craft, which is the same exact name of the Unreal Engine project that we created in the course. It's literally named Survival Craft. And the reason why I picked this overly generic name is because it's a template. You're supposed to customize it and come up with your own game name. But these idiots decide to literally use the same exact name for their store page. And additionally, from the store screenshots, you can already see that there are striking similarities in the code, user interface, and so much more with the game that we create in my course. And it's literally just a near one-to-one copy that I was seriously looking at getting a lawyer involved. But when I realized I actually needed proof, mind you, I already knew these guys copied my game from the title and screenshots from the store page, but I also knew they were enrolled in my course because they were active members in my Discord server. So I already know they purchased the course, but I needed concrete evidence. So I actually went ahead and bought Their one-to-one copy for over $299. And once I downloaded it and opened it up on my PC, big surprise, it's the same exact game. Like everything from the functions, the variables, the events, the user interface, inputs, everything were the exact same. The only thing they did was rename stuff. Like the entire guild system that they created was just a straight up copy of my tribe/clan system. Here you can see the guild invite, guild name. We have decline and accept. So this is mine down here. We have player name has invited you to join tribe name. Then you can see he has guild invite and guild name. Okay, we have the progress bar, the blue progress bar. He has it up there. And then we have decline and accept. So it's the same exact thing. Then of course we have the tribe window. And over here you can see that he has the guild name. We have new message up here. We have the members right over here. We have online. We have the same exact buttons, the kick, promote, demote, and leave. There's not even an additional button. Like, come on, he could have added some additional stuff. We have the guild log. It's the same exact thing. And if you don't even think that is bad, let's go ahead and check out a code example. So this is basically a code snippet from the chat system. So when you send a chat message or receive a chat message, it'll basically go ahead and set the text color of it to green for, tribe chat, or yellow for global chat. And you can see that he literally just copied the same exact thing. The only thing that he changed was the names of the functions and the variables. It's literally all the same code. Now for context, when I saw this, I actually called them out and I tried to get it removed from the Unreal Engine marketplace, because not only was this clearly stealing my work, but is also a clear violation of my course terms of service, as the one thing I require people not to do is to resell the assets or source code on the marketplace or any third-party website. And they actually counterclaimed, and I couldn't really do anything about it unless I filed a lawsuit against these people, which I chose not to because one, I didn't have the time, nor did I have the money to throw out a bunch of lawyers to file a lawsuit against these guys, which by the way, these guys are out here still shamelessly reselling my project. So fast forward to this guy's Discord comment, the guy who copied my course and is commenting in defense of these people. Is the course not to learn and make games to sell it? Because people didn't rip one-to-one of your work. So I can literally tell you without a shadow of a doubt and disprove this statement, because yeah, these guys did literally copy one-to-one my game. Sure, they changed the UI background textures and maybe swapped out the assets, but at its core, it's the same exact code that they got from taking my course. Like, we've seen all these screenshots already, which again, I state and make very clear in my terms of service that you cannot resell it. So this guy, for over a year, is already in the money mindset of taking my course just to resell it for profit by either reproducing the course lectures or selling the project. That was his literal intention from the very start, as you can see clearly in this message, because he's in defense of the people who one-to-one stole my work and sold it on the marketplace. Because this guy is just complacent with what's happening to me, because it was his plan all along to do the same exact thing. So now that we've learned the lore behind this guy's intentions, he sent this message over a year ago, let's actually fast forward to the current day and take a look at some of the threats that he's been making against me in the multiple emails that he sent over. So first of all, this is the first email that he sent over. Basically, this guy sends me this AI generated email saying, "Dear Smart Polly, this letter serves as a formal demand to immediately fully retract all DMCA takedown notices you submitted to YouTube regarding my content. Your allegations are completely baseless, blah, blah, blah. They constitute as a deliberate abuse." And basically, he just goes on to recite copyright law, and you just copy this straight off of ChatGPT, let's be honest. But this goes on for a couple of emails that he sent to me until he finally actually types up a real response. So here's what he actually had to say. This course really is just backed by me. If you want to know who you're dealing with, feel free to look me up. You have my name. Check the German business registry and see all the companies that I built, along with the revenues and profits they generated. Financially, I'm already set for life. Wow, guys, it's like I'm talking to the multi-millionaire. We got the German Jeff Bezos over here copying my Unreal Engine course. The course in question is something my son is currently building. I'm just helping him along the way. That's why the voiceover is done with AI. I'm teaching him how to start a project, how to build a business from the ground up, and how to create something on his own, step by step. With your actions, you're not only attacking me, but you're also going after my kid and my family. And to be honest, he was ready to take legal action already. But I told him, you don't act out of anger, but you must handle things with fairness, respect, and with a clear mind. that you treat competition seriously, but also like a human being. If I wanted to, it wouldn't be a problem for me to escalate this legally. Spending over 50 to 200,000 euros on a lawsuit, no big deal. But that's not the path I want to show and teach my son. So we got the fucking German Jeff Bezos out here ready to drop 50 to $200,000 on a lawsuit against me, no big deal. I don't know what part of this to believe, the fact that he's aiding and abetting his son in plagiarizing my course, or the fact that he's financially set for life, ready to drop 200k in legal fees without even blinking. First of all, even if you were the German Jeff Bezos and were, quote, financially set for life, why the fuck would you be selling unreligion courses? Wouldn't you just be chilling on some yacht in the Bahamas? Not just sitting here mauling over the fact that I removed your blatant copies of my course? Also, if you're so wealthy, why don't you make the course literally free? Why did you make your course cost $20 more than mine if you're so financially well set? Now, none of this logically makes sense. And you want to know why it doesn't make any logical sense? Because it's a fabricated lie. All we have to do is check some of the comments that this guy has made under this Reddit post. In one of these comments, he states, "Yes, I promote the course on YouTube. I do this all full time." So he's doing this as his full-time job. "I work 8 to 16 hours almost every day for the videos." So again, this is his full-time job. "I provide good support and help wherever I can when people have problems. That's why I think it's extremely bad that Smart Poly comes around the corner and issues DMCA, even though everyone knows that his course in my videos says it's completely different." Wow, so we got the German Jeff Bezos over here, a guy who claims he's financially set for life, who has an upwards of 50 to 200,000 euros to drop on a lawsuit like it's just pocket change. No big deal is what he said. This is the same exact guy as in the Reddit post? Like, this can't be the same exact guy. Why would he be financially set for life and be spending his retirement grinding 16 hours a day, making a full copy of my unreligion course for profit? Because it says right here, he does it full time. In other words, the guy lied. Again, I said at the very beginning of this video, I will prove that this guy is a pathological liar, and not even a good one. He literally debunked and exposed himself with every comment, post, and message that he has sent. He's lied about the fact that the only thing that our course shares is the theme. He's lied about the fact that the technical implementation draws no similarities. He's probably lied about the fact that he has a son and he's also financially set for life. So at this point, what else does this guy have to lie about? Well, here's another comment from Reddit. So this guy replied to the post and it's literally just hilarious. "A YouTube or legal Reddit would be the best place to ask this." Basically, like, we got German Elon Musk out here asking for legal advice on Reddit. What happened, bro? I thought you had 200k to drop on some lawyers. No big deal. And check out his reply to this comment. "Yes, I was just hoping some developers here might have the same experience and know how to deal with it. It can't be right that I can just create an account, bombard other channels with DMCA notices, make allegations, and then get blocked. At least for 14 days until it's solved. And a lawyer is extremely expensive for something like that." First of all, I don't know what he's talking about here. I never made alt accounts to bombard DMCA notices. I don't know who or what he's referring to in here. But in the second part, he's claiming that a lawyer is extremely expensive. So what happened to the 200k pocket change? Like, he could just drop it on some lawyers, no big deal. Did he just gamble his net worth away overnight? Like, come on now, are lawyers expensive now? I thought you were just ready to buy some. Like, if you're going to lie, at least get your story straight. I mean, this guy is just a compulsive liar. If he can fabricate and create anything about his life story, guess what else he can make up? Well, all the claims about his course sharing no similarities. Guess what? Big surprise, that was a big lie that he made. And we debunked all of that with proof earlier in this video. So the guy will just make up anything to fabricate any story just to attack my reputation and to smear my name, when in reality, this guy is literally just straight up plagiarizing my course, and he doesn't want to admit it. And he's made up this entire story that it's actually his son who's creating the course, and he's just helping him grow the business. And here's another section from his email. He says, "Your actions appear to be driven by commercial interest and aimed at damaging a competitor, not protecting original work." So basically, he's alleging here a pretty serious allegation, and it's actually already been disproven in this video, because time and time again, I have a record of literally protecting my work. Like in the case of the people who one-to-one copied my game, I only go after the people who are literally just plagiarizing my work. And I don't even consider you a serious competitor or a competitor at all. And if I actually wanted to go and damage a real competitor, I'd go after motherfucking Gorka Games. At the very least, this guy has the same subscriber count as me. Not to mention, he made his own survival game course. And guess what? His course is actually not a blatant copy of mine. Now, if you were to follow Gorka's course and made the same argument about your code having no similarities other than the fact that we share the same theme, a survival game, then yeah, that statement actually might have been right. But no, instead you followed my course. And you know what the difference between you and Gorka Games? Gorka Games didn't copy my code. He came up with his own. And so this argument that I would go after my competitors is just blatantly false, as I would have gone after Gorka, who is a more serious competitor than you are. And the sole only reason why I'm coming after you is to protect the integrity of my work. So at the end of the day, who are you going to believe? Are you going to believe a guy who makes up all these claims and, you know, his source is trust me, bro? Or are you going to believe me where I provide all the facts, all the proof, all the evidence here on the screen and just prove objectively that his claims are just false? And of course, let's just wrap it up with this last bit of the email here. You've been taking shots left and right. Maybe you really do need a lesson to bring you down to earth. So I'm telling you with this openly and honestly. Choose a clean, respectful way forward. You clearly don't know who you're dealing with right now, but you still have a chance to resolve this the right way. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, obviously I just went ahead and debunked everything that this guy says. He copied my course, there's no doubt about it. And if this guy wants to go ahead and make a response video, go for it. I'm not going to strike the response video. If you're going to criticize me, whatever, that's fine. But the fact that this guy is just completely delusional, he's a pathological liar, just making up all these claims that he's financially set for life. He has all this money to drop on lawyers. And we can see with this Reddit post that he's just completely lying. And of course, all the screenshots in my Discord server showing him going through the entire course and his progress with that. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. I don't really have anything else to say, and I don't really know how to wrap up the video other than the fact that this guy blatantly copied my course. And he's just trying to smear my name and make me look like I'm trying to go after my competitor, when in reality, this guy is just straight lying through his teeth. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments down below. I'd like to know your guys' thoughts and opinions on this. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I'll see you guys in the next one.